Welcome to the Well-Read Monocle. Today, we are opening the pages of a seminal work in modern horror, Books of Blood, Volume 1 by Clive Barker. First published in the mid-1980s, this collection moved the genre away from gothic shadows and into the visceral, fleshy reality of the body itself. In this video, we will be conducting a complete narrative recap of all 6 stories contained within this first volume. We will explore the plots, the characters, and the dark conclusions that Barker has etched into these pages. Let us begin. Story 1, The Book of Blood. The collection opens with the title story, The Book of Blood, which serves as a framing device for the entire series. We are introduced to Mary Florescu, a psychic researcher investigating a haunted house at number 65, Tollington Place. She has employed a young man named Simon McNeil as a medium. For weeks, McNeil has seemingly been channeling voices, producing writing on the walls that Mary believes is proof of life after death. However, the truth is that McNeil is a fraud. He is a trickster who uses shards of lead hidden in his mouth to scribble the messages himself, mocking the research and the spirits alike. But the house truly is haunted. It sits on a highway for the dead, a convergence point for wandering souls. When Mary discovers McNeil's deception, the true spirits of the highway assert themselves. Insulted by McNeil's mockery, the dead descend upon him. They do not kill him. Instead, they decide to use him as their vessel. They carve their stories, their autobiographies, directly into his skin, covering his entire body with text written in blood. Mary Florescu becomes his protector and translator, reading the stories etched into his living flesh. Simon McNeil becomes the Book of Blood, and the stories that follow in this collection are the tales read from his skin. Story 2, The Midnight Meat Train. Our second tale, The Midnight Meat Train, takes us to the grime of New York City. The protagonist is Leon Kaufman, a man initially infatuated with the city who has grown disillusioned by its filth and violence. The city is gripped by fear of a serial killer known as the Subway Butcher, who slaughters passengers on the late-night trains. One night, Kaufman falls asleep on a subway train and wakes up to find he has missed his stop. He wanders into the next carriage and discovers a scene of abject horror, bodies stripped, shaved, and hung upside down like meat in an abattoir. He encounters the killer, a butcher named Mahogany, who is efficiently preparing the corpses. A brutal fight ensues. Kaufman manages to overpower Mahogany, stabbing him through the neck and killing him. However, as the train reaches the end of the line, Kaufman realizes this was no ordinary slaughter. The train arrives at a secret, pristine station beneath the city. Strange, ancient creatures, the city fathers board the train to feed on the human meat Mahogany has prepared. These ancient beings, the secret rulers of New York, require a butcher to provide for them. Because Kaufman has killed Mahogany, the duty now falls to him. The creatures rip out Kaufman's tongue to ensure his silence and conscript him into their service. The story ends with Kaufman accepting his new role as the guardian and butcher for the city's dark secret. Story 3, The Yattering and Jack. The third story, The Yattering and Jack, offers a shift into dark comedy. It follows Jack Polo, a mild-mannered Birkenham importer, who is being haunted by a minor demon known as the Yattering. The Yattering has been sent by Beelzebub to drive Jack insane and claim his soul, a punishment for an unpaid debt owed by Jack's ancestors. The demon torments Jack relentlessly, killing his cats, boiling his aquarium fish, and throwing objects around the house. However, Jack's defense is absolute indifference. His personal motto, Che Sera, Sera, allows him to ignore every supernatural event, driving the demon to frustration. The conflict escalates when Jack's daughters arrive for Christmas. The Yattering terrorizes them, even animating a raw turkey to attack. Jack realizes he must act. He knows the rules of engagement. A demon is forbidden from touching its victim or leaving the house. Jack tricks the furious demon into chasing him outside and grabbing him. By touching Jack, the Yattering violates the laws of hell and is forced to become Jack's servant. The story concludes with the demon defeated, pitifully obeying Jack's orders, while Jack enjoys a contented life with a supernatural housekeeper. Story 4, Pig Blood Blues. Next is Pig Blood Blues. The narrative follows Redman, a former policeman who takes a job at a remand center for adolescent offenders. He becomes interested in a boy named Lacey, who is isolated and clearly terrified. Lacey claims that a former inmate, Hennessy, is not dead as the authorities claim, but is somehow still present at the facility. Redman investigates the facility's farm, specifically a pigsty inhabited by a massive sow. Lacey reveals a grotesque secret: Hennessy's spirit has transferred into the sow. The boys at the center have formed a cult around the animal, feeding it sacrifices. Redman attempts to intervene but is betrayed. He discovers that the facility's psychologist, Dr. Leverthal, is part of the cult and was Hennessy's lover. In a chaotic confrontation at the sty, the sow goes on a rampage. Redman finds Hennessy's rotting human corpse hidden in the sty but manages to rescue Lacey. However, Redman's escape is cut short. He is captured by the cultists, killed, and fed to the possessed pig. The story ends from Redman's perspective. His spirit is now trapped within the sow, part of the eternal cycle of the beast, as he feels Lacey, now the keeper of the pig, affectionately kissing the animal's snout. Story 5, Sex, Death, and Starshine. The fifth story, Sex, Death, and Starshine, is set in the crumbling Elysium Theatre. Terry Galloway is directing a production of Twelfth Night. The production is plagued by the terribleness of its leading lady, Diane Duvall, a soap opera star cast solely for ticket sales. A mysterious man named Litchfield, who claims to be a former trustee, approaches Galloway. Litchfield reveals the theater is haunted by the dead who refuse to leave. He insists that his wife, Constantia, should play the lead role of Viola, despite the fact that Constantia has been dead for years. Diane Duvall is seduced and killed by the undead Litchfield in her dressing room. With the star gone, the undead Constantia takes the stage. Her performance is transcendent, perfect art achieved through death. The audience, too, is revealed to be comprised entirely of the walking dead. During the curtain call, the jealous and undead Diane Duvall returns, stumbling onto the stage and inadvertently setting the theater on fire. The living members of the cast and crew, including the theater manager, are killed in the chaos. However, Galloway, Litchfield, and the undead troupe survive the fire and leave the ruins to take their show on the road, performing eternally for the dead. Story 6, In the Hills, the Cities. The final story in this volume is In the Hills, the Cities. It follows Mick and Judd, a gay couple driving through remote Yugoslavia. Their relationship is strained, but they venture off the main road into the isolated hills. They stumble upon a horrific and impossible ritual. Two rival cities, Popolik and Podujevo, engage in a contest where the entire population of each city binds themselves together using harnesses and ropes to form the body of a colossal giant. Tens of thousands of people become the muscles, bones, and skin of these titans, which then battle each other. During the ritual, the giant of Podujevo collapses due to exhaustion and structural failure, resulting in the instant, crushing death of nearly 40,000 citizens. The other giant, Popolik, terrified by the sight of its twin's death, goes insane. The collective mind of the city snaps, and the giant wanders aimlessly into the hills. Mick and Judd witness the aftermath, a river of blood and a mountain of broken bodies. While Judd is horrified and eventually killed by falling debris as the madness unfolds, Mick is overcome by a strange ecstasy. As the mad giant Popolik passes by, Mick runs to it and grabs onto its ankle, climbing aboard to become a tiny parasite on the wandering, insane city god, leaving his old life behind for the oblivion of the giant. Books of Blood, Volume 1 concludes here. Barker presents a world where the boundary between the living and the dead is permeable, where the human body is a canvas for horror, and where ancient traditions hide just behind the veneer of modern life. Thank you for joining me on this survey of Clive Barker's nightmares. This has been the Well-Read Monocle. Do stay tuned for more literary explorations.